I've debated a few of my guests on this. Do you
Hmm.
think that men who constantly go back to prison are just secretly gay and they
No,
feel more
I
comfortable?
think they're institutionalized. You know, so like in jail, you have a program. You know what I'm saying? Whether the program it's not the type of program you have in the world. You know, you wake up, you go to your office, you do the things that you have to do to sustain your life. In jail, it's like the same thing, but it's a microcosm of that. You know what I'm saying? You have something to look forward to. You got to wake up, you got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to interact with people. You see counselors and different things like that. So it's like it gives them a life. Some people don't know how to function on the street after being in jail for so long. They get out here and they can't get the type of job and make the type of money they want. I think it's easier for them to live in there because it's just easier. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about paying their own bills. All they have to worry about is canteen. You understand what I'm saying? Which is you only can spend what $130, maybe 180 now. You know what I mean? So it's like I just think their life is more controlled and they're able to function in that environment. Coming out here is too much going on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And if you're in there for a significant amount of time. So look, when I was in prison, I think around my 7th year, SSI came, Social Security came in there, and they said that if you've been in here over 5 years, you automatically qualify for SSI. So they know it's a mind fuck. You know what I'm saying? Once you're in there for so long. So you become institutionalized, bro. It's really, really what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
probably hard for you to fathom because you never
Yeah.
been there. But I'm telling you, from a person like Vlad, when they let me out the door, bro, it was like 3 people that got out with me, right? So the other people, they family was right there in front of the jail when they let us out the very front door. They got in the cars and drove off. I was standing alone because my people was like 5 minutes late. I looked back at the jail, bro. Like I wanted to kind of low key in my mind go back inside. Like I felt like I was being put out of my house or something.
Wow.
That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? So imagine somebody that did 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
No, I'm not talking about people who did that. I'm talking about
That's
you do 2
recidivism.
years, you come out, 6 months later, you're back again.
You ain't
3
learned
years,
enough.
you come
ain't
out,
learned. You haven't learned.
you're on the street 9 months, you
Yeah,
get
you
caught with a
haven't- you
gun,
haven't-
go back and do another year and a half.
Yeah,
like,
you haven't
people
really
are
learned. You have
constantly
to
going back.
do 5 years or more for you to really understand, for it to settle in, I believe.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
look, I remember I did I interviewed 1090 Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And he feels, and he did some jail time, he said a lot of the people in there are like, you know, have mental, like, you know, mentally disabled.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, like special ed, short bus.
That too. It's a lot of that.
You know, like I remember like Lil Woody,
Yeah.
the YSL case, he said that he got into a really bad accident when he was a kid, hit his head, went into a coma, woke up like 6 months later, had to learn how to walk and talk, was put in special ed classes, then dropped out of school, and then, you know,
You got to think
got
about
a
something.
gun,
You got to think
got some
about the
liquor,
you
got
got to
some
think about
drugs.
the families that these people come from. The drugs in their home, sexually abused in their home while they was children. You know what I'm saying? Poverty, right? So it's like they never got no type of counseling for this shit, Vlad. And then they come out to these violent societies and dealing with all this crazy shit, get hooked on drugs, get caught up in gangs. They really don't have no other way to express themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then they get put in that environment. It's damn near the same environment that they come from, just a little bit more control. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of mental illness, bro. It's a lot of trauma. People are trauma bonding too as well. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. You know, it's hard for people to understand, but I'm telling you from a person who experienced these things firsthand, like it's a lot of that. It's a lot of like really, people are really devastated mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it is, bro. Because who in their right mind want to keep going in and out of that place like that? When you can potentially die. I don't give a fuck because you got 6 months. That don't mean you're going to make it home. If somebody come and attack you on the yard, 6 people with knives and stab you to death, you understand what I'm saying? Like, why would you keep putting yourself in your right mind? Think about that. That can't be, that's not no sane shit.